Welcome to the Dead Bedroom Revival Podcast. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm very excited to be making this episode. And the reason why is because I've not been able to make episodes for the past 6 days. I've been deep diving on something that has been I've been thinking about because I've had a few questions about it, and it's something that I was answering in a way that would help somebody to see things in a different perspective. But I thought to myself, I really need a better way to break this down and really change somebody's life in terms of their sex life. And really, it's the question of how your finances affect your sex life with your partner. And this is huge. And one of the things is that it's one of those unspoken things within a relationship, or when it's spoken about, it's always spoken about in the negative sense. So when bills have come up, or they've piled up, or there isn't enough money, that's when you start having a conversation. There's no real positive conversation that happens. Now, that's another episode that I'll be talking about when we talk about how to talk about it and how to really structure that conversation so you can make it better conversation, but not only a better conversation, but how you can plan in a way that will leave you in a successful place. So let's leave that and we'll talk about that on another episode. But for now, there is an effect that happens to your sex life, and it's almost stealth. So you don't even realize that that's where it's coming from. But really, when you look at finances, most people think of it from a romantic perspective. You put the romantic Disney lenses on, and they think money doesn't matter. As long as we love each other, it's not a big deal. But really, it's a massive deal, because money isn't just a thing that we go in to work and get, and we just are happy with it. And then it's one of those things that is a massive resource. And what that means is that it's something that you use in exchange for different goods, services. But the biggest thing that you exchange money for is safety, is security. It's almost like a safety blanket that you can have. So whenever you have enough money to be able to pay all your bills, to get even a little bit extra to do things like holiday, it gives you that safety blanket that, you know what, we are okay. And when money is not a concern within your mind, it frees you up to be able to enjoy pieces of life. So that's the reason why you get all these sort of Western countries, because of the wealth that they have within their country, all these recreational things that, you know, if we're okay money-wise, so we can go and do all these other recreation things. Whereas, you know, if you look some places where it's really poor, the opportunities for any recreation is like nothing. So like in where I come from in Africa, you would never find polo, for instance, or a polo club. You know, there's no something, because it's something for the rich. There's no motocross or MotoGP, or there's no things that are just leisure things. You might find football because it's easy to get a ball and play, rugby, but there isn't any sort of things like that. And there's a point to it, because when money isn't an issue, it creates this freedom, that when you've got that safety blanket of everything is okay financially, it creates this blanket. And this blanket, usually, if it's on your lady, it creates so much peace. It creates so much room for her to want to explore playing, rather than living in a life of anxiety or living in a mind of anxiety. And some of the times when people talk about, especially when their wives talk about, I'm feeling tired, or I don't feel like it, most people rush to go and wash dishes. They rush to go and do cleaning the house. They rush to go and do all these other sort of jobs, and they wonder why it never really works. So I've done all these jobs around the houses. Hopefully you should see that I've done all this and I've taken you off your feet in terms of you can rest. I've given you all this opportunity to rest. hopefully because of that, we can now have sex and nothing happens. And really the battle isn't the washing up of the dishes or looking after the children, of the homework, or all those tasks that you've taken on in order to give her rest. The issue is that she's not having the ability to really calm her anxiety down. And when she calms her anxiety down, she's not even getting a restful sleep. So the ability for her to really not have that level of anxiety about what's going on financially, that can actually help her to sleep. And when she can get restful sleep, then those tasks aren't that big deal. And again, when it comes to when she's got that level of anxiety down and she's free, then again, it now creates that level where she's now open to play. So this is one of those things that people do not talk about. Like I said, people only talk about finances within a relationship when there's issues that have arisen that are surrounding finances. And having the ability to plan on how you can really resolve your income is a massive deal. So before, because I'm now on 6 minutes, I'm going to finish in the next 4 minutes. I'm just going to quickly break down how you can raise your income. And this is I can't guarantee that you'll be able to do it, but as long as you can actually see what I'm trying to say and then act on it, you actually realize that it's easier than you think. So when it comes to raising your finances, you have to think of it as like the value that you bring. So for instance, for somebody that comes and clears my bins every Wednesday morning, they are creating some sort of value, which is taking away my rubbish. Now, in terms of the value that it actually brings compared to somebody who is doing a brain surgery, there is such a big difference to that. And you have to think of the value that you bring, which is the vehicle that you're doing. So vehicle is in the job that you're doing. So that's the scale of the vehicle or the value that you bring. So you being able to raise your skill, which is what is the scale here. So by you raising your skill, your skills will start making you more valuable, therefore you command more money. So most people, they look at this and they think, oh, you know what, I failed this school, I didn't do well. But again, it always depends as well on the market that you're in. So the guy who's being disposable has joined the disposable market. So therefore, it is very important that we get rid of our rubbish. But in terms of the actual process itself, it doesn't require a lot of skill. Therefore, it isn't that valuable. So therefore, that vehicle, let's call it a boat, is not great in that ocean. So it's almost like a pond, for instance, in terms of a market. But then if you are a surgeon, for instance, then you're kind of like a yacht within an ocean. So it means that you've got so many places you can explore. So it becomes very important to thinking, what is it that I can create that's valuable in terms of skill? And what market can I join that people would value that skill? And now, I cannot answer this for you. So some people have been, I've got a friend that I work with, he's quite muscular, he's very knowledgeable when it comes to nutrition and diet and exercise. And I was saying to him, I know a guy who's making at least £10,000 per month, but you know way more than he does. Again, it's just the vehicle that he has. He already has the vehicle, he's got the skills, but he's just in the wrong market. So this, hopefully it's already getting you to think, like, how can I do this? Whether it could be a guy I spoke to recently, and he's been working as an engineer like I do, and he is obsessed with remote control cars, and he knows more than ungodly knowledge about remote control cars. Told him the same thing, that if you take this information and then present it to this market of people that like remote control cars, there's potential that you could actually make loads of money with this. And he did. And yes, he's now making loads of money. So there's one of those things that there's already knowledge, there's already things that you already know that is way more than the average person knows. And if you put it in front of the right market, in terms of you already have the skill, if you put that skill in front of the right market, you can actually increase your revenue. Now, I'm not talking about making millions. I'm not talking about, being crazy rich. But again, it's different stepping stones. So it could be a case that you're just going to be buying and selling on Amazon. It could be a case that you're doing something to really start increasing the amount of revenue coming in, which then creates safety, which then also helps you in the bedroom. Now, this is all a lot of stuff that I've sort of tried to pack it into one episode. And if you want to know more information, go to www.deadbedroomrevival.com and you'll be able to get information that will take you to a Facebook group. When you go to the Facebook group, we'll be able to give you even more detailed information on how you can do this. Because it's one of those things that when you increase the revenue that comes into your house, you will see that it changes everything. And again, one of the other main things about this is that it doesn't mean that because you've just tried it, it's going to happen. Most people try to do this, and they've already tried to do this, and they failed. So therefore, they've just decided they cannot do it. But one of the main things about this is that even if you fail, it's like, and if you think about it, you have to think of it from this perspective. It's like your baseball and somebody's pitching to you. And as long as you keep swinging, you've got a chance to hit it once. And when you do hit it, you've got a chance to hit it at least a home run. So even if it takes you 100 times to try something and it fails, and you try another thing and it fails, you just keep at it. And one of the things that starts building inside you is resilience, and it shows that you're passionate about doing something. And again, that also spills into your bedroom. The fact that you're passionate and are chasing to really build this security amongst your family, it's a very attractive character for as a male, but also your wife will actually appreciate the fact that you're trying to do something to better your lives for you and for her and the children, if you've got children. So that's one of the major things that transformed within my relationship, and has transformed many guys within a relationship. And that's what I'm trying to say, that it don't have to be it will work instantly, because she knows that you're now chasing this thing where it's bigger than you, but it can benefit the family. And that is why resolving the financial side of things really transforms a relationship and how it can affect your relationship. So hopefully this has been very impactful for you and your relationship, and you can try this out. And again, if you want to go and deep dive into this information and get more trainings regarding this, go to www.deadbedroomrevival.com, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Take care.